Hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome back to Rain and Beauty. I'm so happy you're here. And I wanted to start by saying this episode is a little different, not just because I'm doing it in my car 30 minutes before a yoga class starts, but we're actually going to merge 2 weeks into one because life did what it sometimes does. It took off fast, and instead of fighting that, I decided that this episode needed to honor basically what unfolded, because this is real life, and this is what balance really actually looks like when it's lived and it's not curated. I know it's been a while, and I want to take you back to basically the beginning, if you will, of this whirlwind, to a last minute decision to head north to New Hampshire. And that was in January. And that trip wasn't, overthought. It was actually planned months in advance. It was one of those, my soul needs this type of moments. I wanted winter. I wanted to see snow because I hadn't seen snow in New Hampshire since I left. I wanted friends that felt like family, the ones who've known me for years, who hold history with me, and who feel like home. And all weekend long, for that particular weekend, I kept joking with everyone like, I manifested this because this was exactly what I wanted and asked for. And it was funny because we laughed, but honestly, there was really more truth than I actually think I give it credit for. And here's why. Because when your nervous system is regulated, when you feel safe and connected, grounded, your perception of life changes. Winter slows everything down, right? Snow softens the sound, cold air sharpens presence, and basically your parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for rest, digestion, creativity, and connection, it actually gets to exhale. And that weekend felt like one long exhale. It was amazing, right? It was exactly what I needed and wanted. Well, though, here's the science piece, right? Our nervous system is consistently scanning for safety or for threat. Not logically, but biologically. Nature shared meals, laughter, novelty mixed with familiarity. They're like biological signals of safety. So when I say that weekend filled my cup, what it really means is it regulated my nervous system. And it didn't just feel like that emotionally, like I could really see it. Because I track my body daily, as you guys know, with my great app that I love so much, the Welltory app. And I love it. I check in with it daily, sometimes multiple times a day. And I watch my heart rate variability. Like, I watch my stress resilience. I watch how my parasympathetic and my sympathetic systems shift, and they shift through the day. And what I've learned basically is this. Balance isn't static. It's actually responsive. Like, coffee affects me differently depending on timing and stress. Food hits differently depending on whether I'm rushed or am I relaxed. Wine with friends is not the same as wine with exhaustion, okay? Small shifts matter. Tiny adjustments compound. And that weekend, my body knew it was safe. It was so great. But Monday came, right? And I went from snow-covered mornings and slow coffee to 3 straight days of 4 a.m. wake-ups working on the airport. It was freezing. It was loud. It was fast. It was demanding. And whatever, right? Like, that's a full nervous system swing from parasympathetic to sympathetic as if I've ever had one. And here's the thing no one really talks about. Even good stress is still stress in our body. It is. So our body doesn't judge experiences the way our mind does, okay? It just responds. And so the turning point really is this, what, right? So then Thursday hits. After work, I rush home, I pack a bag, and I head back to the airport because this time, poor Michael, his mother had passed away. So I wasn't planning to go back-to-back trips, but hello, life happens. And Michael and I had to fly back into Boston for her service. Well, the service itself was so beautiful. I mean, truly honoring. It was loving. It was super deeply respectful. But something struck me crazy. I had never met most of his extended family. And not for nothing, but funerals have a way of bringing everyone together, even the ones you haven't seen in, a million years, right? Well, suddenly, I find myself in rooms full of crazy energy, grief, history, old dynamics, love, tension, unspoken stories. Like, come on, you can all imagine, right? It was a lot. But, actually, I really want to kind of pause here because this really does matter. We read energy long before we process language, body language, posture, tone, eye contact. Our nervous system reads it instantly. I could feel heaviness in some spaces. I could feel odd family dynamics without anyone even having to say a word to me. Like, I got it. I'm like, ooh-wee, this is heavy shit right here. Just kidding. But it's the nervous system intelligence. And when we're regulated, we don't absorb everything that we observe, right? So when you're dysregulated, though, you carry what isn't yours. And there were moments I had to consciously ground myself. Feet on the floor, like, breathe slowly, Shan. I am protecting my energy because it was a lot. And yet, there was so much beauty also. Eating together, dancing, stories, walking through South Boston where Michael grew up, immersing myself in his history, his roots. Like, that all matters. And so connection is medicine, and joy doesn't cancel grief. It coexists with it. And that's something that our nervous system needs to remember because, it's a big thing. And just like when you think my week is done, at least this was my way of thinking, Boston prepared, crazily enough, for basically the snow apocalypse. Like, flights were being canceled left and right, like the biggest snowstorm of the year. So instead of my usual route, Providence, back to PG, well, I had to learn how to pivot. And Boston, Logan, early morning, a different arrival airport, which was Sarasota. Then having a friend picking me up, driving me down to PG. And then I finally made it home. Like, when I tell you guys this was a lot, like, this was a lot. And that brings me to today. Really. The quiet after the storm, the decompression. This is where the reset really happens. Not with force, not with discipline, but with gentleness, with sleep, oh my gosh, hydration, grounding food, low stimulation. This is how we teach our nervous system, you're safe again. Because regulation isn't about avoiding life. It's about recovering from it well. It's true. And if there's one thing I want you to really take from this particular episode, it's this. You're not weak for feeling overwhelmed. Your body is intelligent. Life moves in seasons, in surges. It moves in stillness. And when life takes off, our job isn't to try to control it. It's to really try to return to ourselves. So, I'm going to head into yoga now, but thanks for being here. Thank you for holding space for real life. And as always, rein in your beauty from the inside out. Have a great Sunday, you guys. Talk soon.